Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or indeed good evening, depending on your time zone and depending on when you are watching this. I'm James Innes and this is my YouTube show, The Jobs Guru. It is Tuesday the 21st of July 2020. I'm delighted to see you all here for today's episode. I extend a very warm welcome to all those who have subscribed since the last episode, and if you haven't yet subscribed, then please do think about subscribing so you don't miss out on the next episode. Today I'm going to be continuing with my regular Tuesday series of valuable interview advice, and I'm going to be talking about mental preparation. If you have any questions or comments as you watch, then do please type them into that comment section below. And if you like what you see, then do please hit that YouTube thumbs up. So, mental preparation. Most of my clients are understandably nervous about attending job interviews. I already spoke this time last week about preparing yourself on a practical basis. Now it's time to talk about your mental preparation. You've got to get yourself into the right frame of mind. Nerves. Well, they can often be a useful tool for sharpening up your performance. However, if you let your nerves take over to the extent that they interfere with your ability to come across well at interview, then it's clearly a problem. Nerves are commonly caused by having lots of negative thoughts rattling around in your brain, so try to relax. Calm your anxious mind and think positive thoughts. Sounds corny, I know, but yeah, it's true. Remember, everyone gets nervous to some degree before an interview. It's perfectly normal. Of course, the better prepared you are, the less likely you are to feel panicky, but you'll never completely eliminate nerves. The secret is to channel your nervous energy and use it to your advantage. Take a deep breath, focus, concentrate, and don't let nerves spoil your day. In any case, most professional recruiters are trained to make allowances for the fact that, candidates are likely to be a little bit on edge. I often say attending an interview isn't very much different from going on a date, really, except that your chances of getting the interviewer naked are probably not very high. Seriously, it's a natural instinct for you to feel threatened by an interview, and your body is going to be pumped full of adrenaline. Adrenaline, not your best friend when you're trying to present yourself to the best of your ability. It might have been useful hundreds of thousands of years ago when you were being chased and cornered by a saber-toothed tiger, but now it'll just cause you to panic even more. So, here are my top 10 key tips for calming those nerves. Number 1, stop thinking about yourself. Focus your attention on your interviewer. Number 2, bear in mind that the interviewer is not your enemy. They're not a saber-toothed tiger. Number 3, try to talk to the interviewer as a person you're having a one-on-one conversation with, not as someone who's interrogating you. Number 4, ask questions to reinforce this illusion. Don't just let them ask all the questions. An interview really should be a two-way conversation. Number 5, have a glass of water to sip from, just in case your mouth or your brain happens to dry up. 6, take slower, deeper breaths. It'll calm you down and help get more oxygen to your brain. 7, smile. It's a natural relaxant and it'll make a good impression on your interviewer too. 8, limit your caffeine intake. You definitely don't want to appear overly manic. 9, visualize the end of the interview and walking back out to freedom. And 10, and finally, always bear in mind that you will feel more nervous than you actually look. And once you realize this, you should feel a lot calmer. Now, let's talk about confidence. Confident people inspire confidence in others. It's almost contagious. If you appear confident that you are able to do the job, the employer, the interviewer, is likely to be more inclined to believe that you can. Confidence is critical to a successful interview. Naturally, it's important not to go to the other extreme and appear overconfident or arrogant, which is a surprisingly common mistake. You simply need to appreciate what your strengths are and to value yourself accordingly. If a prospective employer has invited you for an interview, then you obviously have something that appeals to them. Interviews are an expensive and time-consuming process, and they wouldn't be making the effort unless they felt you had significant potential. Moving on, enthusiasm. Whilst there's obviously a fine balance here, enthusiasm in an interview is essential. Just don't overdo it. Recruiters often find that the person they are interviewing lacks enthusiasm. This will naturally count against you. Sometimes it might just be due to nerves and shyness, but don't let this happen to you. Be enthusiastic and show it. If you're not enthusiastic about the role and about the organisation, then you won't do yourself justice. This really is one of the easiest things to get right. Alongside confidence, enthusiasm is a trait that is guaranteed to impress an interviewer. Show you are motivated, talk about your work with enthusiasm, demonstrate that you are keen to do your best. And I feel it's also important to mention tone of voice. Nerves, confidence, enthusiasm, they'll all be reflected in the way that you speak. Nerves, stress and pressure will have a negative impact, whilst confidence, enthusiasm and energy will come across positively. Take some time prior to your interview to work on your tone of voice. You might feel a little mad talking out loud to the mirror, but it's an exercise that's well worth trying. Keeping a smile on your face will also help, and we'll cover that in more detail when I talk about body language. The week after next, that'll be. So now, we're not far from the end of today's show. Remember, this show is Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday each and almost every week, and I'm going to be back tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Just two more things. First, I must squeeze in some routine but important requests. Do please check me out on social media and connect, follow, or otherwise stalk me, but please don't troll me. Life is too short for trolls. If you have any questions or comments about this episode, about the show in general, about life, the universe, Swiss watches, whatever, do please let me have them in the comments section below. And if you like this episode, please hit it with the YouTube thumbs up. Think about subscribing maybe and ringing that YouTube bell so you don't miss out on the next episode. If you've already done all of that, well, thank you. Finally, what's happening in the next episode? Well, tomorrow I'm going to be tackling a question from one of my viewers and also looking at an interview question, namely, take a deep breath for this one. You have 12 visually identical marbles. They are all the same weight except for two, one of which is lighter than the others and one of which is heavier. You have some good old-fashioned weighing scales, the kind which act on a pivot, which you are permitted to use up to 3 times at the most. How would you identify which are the heavier and lighter ones? Gosh, answers on a postcard, please. I hope you'll tune in. Thank you for watching today. Keep safe and be well, my friends. Goodbye.